everybody. Good evening. Woohoo! Tonight we have such a special show, but welcome to Where Are They Now? Please try and use our new app because we are live streaming from the app. Post your questions. We want to hear from you. And we also have a little promo going on. We're going to give a prize away to the best comment of the evening. You're going to get a 250 Rand voucher from Take a Lot. I think that's pretty cool. As you know, every week I speak to the South African iconic music people, the artists, people in the biz, local, international, and we like to talk about their lives, how they've been lived, and they have always been very well lived, as we know, and really discover what makes them tick. In the studio today is a gentleman, and I do mean gentleman, okay? And I know that personally. He's a legend of the music industry and the sports commentating industry as well. I'd like to call him a very good friend, if I may. He has so much respect from me for what he's done for this industry and what he is still doing, and it's all unsurmountable. Please welcome to the studio, Mr. Brian Mulder. Hello, Brian.
Hello there, guys. Hey, how's it, Cindy? Thank you very much.
What a pleasure. It's an absolute pleasure, darling. Just so you know, I always like to tell you that you're allowed to say whatever you want here. You've got the bragging rights for this show. I want to hear the whens, the hows, the who's, who done's, who's, and what's, and everything, and for how long, and give us the scoop, the dish, as they call it. So let's just begin at the beginning, Brian. Like, you're a Joburg boy, right?
Listen, I'm having a bit of problem because I'm hearing you behind the scenes and with the scenes and everything else. So somewhere along the line, I'm hearing doubles.
I'm sorry. Can you still hear me, though? I think we've got a sound problem. I don't know what it is today, but we will continue. Brian, can you hear me, though?
Yes, now I can hear you on your own.
Fantastic. So I'm asking you, you started in Joburg because that's where you're from. Let's take it to the beginning. Like, when did the music bug hit you?
While at school, we had a little bit of a group going, and there was a guy called Herbie Simon and myself. We were all at school together, and there was little groups that were going around and so forth. And I used to follow the bands and go along, and I played in little amateur bands and things like that. And then I think while in the army, we formed a little group there as well. And when I came out, I was asked to join Group 66, which then became sort of, we had a couple of hits with that. And that's basically how we kind of started and got into it.
So it just like sort of flowed. And then in those days also, there were so many musicians around that like some guy will see somebody and say, hey, do you want to join my band? It was so easy going, How did, firstly, the name, Peanut Butter Conspiracy? I mean, what's in a name? Where did that come from? Brian, we've lost you again. Anybody there? Hello. Jules, we've lost Brian. I'm sorry, darling. He was fiddling with his earphones and he's gone. All right, so no Brian. I don't know what else to do. Should I just talk about life? These things are quite interesting. Let me just look here and see who's online with us, to tell the truth. Fame organization, always thank you so much. Saying hi to Brian. Discover TV.
My headphones are on. Yeah, but I'm here. Can I not come out the studio because I'm hearing what I'm hearing in the studio, and then I'm hearing her later.
Brian, you're online. You're on air, So don't talk on your phone anymore. Let's talk to me. Okay. Just talk to me. Brian, I want to tell you that Simone Jonas is online. Simone is online, Brian.
Look,
Is that
I
your daughter?
see you guys now, but I can hear everything going, so I just hope it's fine.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Beautiful. Don't touch anything.
I'm not.
Please. Let's go back to that question, Brian.
All right.
Peanut butter conspiracy. Where did
Yes.
that name come from? Please tell me.
Well, you know, there was a hell of a thing about that. We were sitting around one day, and there was a rainy day, and everybody was sort of saying, and we were saying, why, how can we get into this name or whatever? So I normally just say it's stuck in your mouth. It was like a peanut sandwich. But there was a funny thing about it, because years later, in the old days, you would do an acetate, and the guys would take it over to Medium and display whatever everybody had. And suddenly there was an American group that came up with the same name, Peanut Butter Conspiracy. And I know they spoke to us, and Gallo, who we were with at the time, GRC, spoke to them, and however it went down. But anyway, we actually just went on, and I think they did 1 or 2 hits under that name as well, but it was obviously our name from the start.
That's so funny. Do you know, people need to know about Midam, because Midam was the place where all bands were signed. So once a year in Cannes, you would go there. Well, the record companies would go there. They would take all their music, and I'm talking about everybody from every country in the world. That's how clout was found.
Absolutely.
Somebody took, it was Kritzinger actually, that took our song to Midam. He started playing it to all the guys in the booths. You know, they had their little booths.
Yes.
Hi, we
Yes.
from Deutsche Grammophon, we from Polydor,
Absolute.
we from Sony, etc., etc. It's a very interesting time. And it was so different the way things were done in those days, hey?
Well, you know, Graham Biggs that did our hits, I think, was
Yes.
well in the early days.
That is amazing that you had to mention that. So Graham Biggs was Clout's producer as well. And
Absolutely.
Graham Biggs was Peanut Butter Conspiracy's
Yes.
producer as well.
Yes.
Jules, I'd love to see a picture of Peanut Butter Conspiracy, a couple of pictures, and perhaps let Brian sing the song for us. Hey? The first hit. Oh my God, look at you. You wild animal. I remember that. I love it. I'd love to hear that song. I think it's still a classic song, and you still sing it so well. So hopefully we've got the video ready and we can play it. That'd be awesome.
All right. Well, thanks.
Understanding is the best thing in the world. Between a boy and a girl, a boy and girl, or even a woman or a man. It makes it better if you really understand. Now this understanding, people, is a mighty powerful thing. And that's why it makes us so sad to see some of our friends running around through this world not knowing the meaning of the word understanding. So in the next few minutes, we'd like to try and explain to you exactly what this little bit of understanding means. Now, for example, you take me and my old lady, we got a good thing going. Because I know darn well, if I don't pay the bills, the rent, and buy her those nice fashionable clothes to wear, there is more than 15 other guys waiting around each corner. And if I take that woman for granted, I want to tell you, I know for sure she'll be running around with somebody else so soon. Now understanding is the best thing in the world. Between a boy and a girl, a boy and girl, or even a woman and a man. It makes it better if you really understand. Oh, Lord, understanding is the best thing in the world. Oh, people, believe me, it's between a boy and a girl. Boy and girl, boy and girl, woman, man, world leaders, everybody's got to learn to understand. Maybe you never heard us the first time. Here we go. Understanding, understanding.
Oh my God, Brian. Firstly, I was a younger girl when I heard that song. It's one of those songs.
Settle down.
Honestly, really, we've got so many beautiful people watching in that song. What year was that? Tell me, Brian. What year?
71.
Okay, so I was still at school.
So was I.
And yeah, you see, and you
No, I
know,
wasn't.
no, you weren't. I know that because you're a little bit older than me, just a touch. So I just wanted to tell you that we've got a whole bunch of people over here on this side, people that come and watch us every week. They are absolutely staunch supporters. We love it. Firstly, Sandy Smith. Sandy said, Brian, she met you at Cyro's nightclub. Herbie was on bass, Dave Evans on drums, and Laureen on keyboards and vocals. I mean, that was like, wow. That's a long time ago. We've got Fame Organization, as I said. We've got Jenny Horton is there every week. She loves it. Delia, Shelley, my darlings, Odette, Marion, all the way from Germany, Nolene, Hazel, Morris Fresco. Morris
Absolutely.
Fresco. Do you remember Morris?
Yeah, Morris was the big agent then, you know.
He was the big agent.
Yeah, the Don News organization.
Absolutely. He was the boykie. Hey? And he's also still going. I'm going to have Morris on the show soon as well, because they've got such great stories. I mean, I want to hear some stories. Tell me something crazy that happened to you guys in peanut butter. Come on, tell me something.
Oh, jeez. There was so many things that used to. We actually came down from Rhodesia, from Salisbury, and we ended up. And we ended up in Cape Town at Camps Bay. And Camps Bay, everybody worked Camps Bay. And there used to be a group of people that was virtually a couple of hundred, used to go out and camp on the beach from Friday to Sunday and go Monday. So the band would be playing, because I think it was a 4-night a week those days. So we used to play also from Thursday all the way through, you know what I mean? And then Sunday we rave. And the people would actually end up on the beach and everything else and go to work from there. It was crazy day.
I love it.
And everybody knew everybody, which was so great.
Yes. This was a different time, Brian. We know that. And I talk about it a lot because people now must know, about these things. And that's why I'm doing this show. It's where are they now? They've come up through the ranks. They've been playing. You've been playing. You are still playing, which is amazing. I want to talk about your band after that, because there was also a very well-known band. You got lots of gold records and good stuff, behind you. Redlam. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, because you just mentioned Sandy, remembering the members of the band.
Yes.
What Sandy was talking about then was Redlam, because Laureen Gordon was the keyboard player in the Delians. Remember Mike Fuller's Delians?
Of course, I remember the Delians. Yes.
London. And
absolutely.
Absolutely, and Laureen was she was a great keyboard player, and she was a great singer, and she never knew that. And we turned her onto a soul thing. I'll never forget. I got Gladys Knight's Neither One of Us, and I said I can't do soul. Oh, I've never done anything like that. And she sang that number, which was virtually a Gladys Knight anthem. And Lauren would just killed it. I mean, she was such, and she had this big Hammond, and we would lug this in wherever we went. We were up and down, 40,000 people carrying this Hammond. You know, absolutely.
No, we also
and
had
Roy
a Hammond.
Zabb was in the band then, and Roy Zabb was originally with Vernon Hutting in Stonecast Feather, which was also with, you know, all the guys all knew each other.
That's the thing that I said, yeah.
And they both passed on, but they were just great musicians. And then Dave Evans, who's still around, he's in Cape Town. And in fact, at my benefits that Vernon organized, Dave played the square set, I think, that night. And he still does gigs and all around. He's still a phenomenal drummer, you know, in the Steve Gadd mode and everything like that.
Yeah.
He's still down there. Herbie has just, he lived in Durban for a long while. He had a beautiful flat overlooked the Greyville Racecourse. And he's moved back. He's in Joburg now for the last year. But he hasn't played for a while and everything else. But he did all the falsetto stuff. So when we did things like My Girl, which is a favorite with many people, you know. For example, Lance Rousseau's daughter loved My Girl, and he was the GM of Swazi, Royal Swazi Spa.
Yes.
High voice was always Herbie. Herbie did all the falsettos then that obviously I couldn't do it. I was speaking in wood then, you know.
I love it. You see, these are the funny little quirky things that happen. I have a quick question. One of our listeners here is asking, and he's a friend of mine, Dougie Ramage. Who wrote Understanding? Wasn't it an old song?
Yeah, it's a very, very old song. It was, in fact, if I'm not mistaken, a Johnny Halliday song, not Holiday, Halliday. And
Halliday,
it's a Negro spiritual thing that came out of the cotton field kind of days. And Charles has, I think, done something like it, but we had to change it. Just remember those days, and you can well remember with Clout, records that we played could never be over 2.5 minutes long.
Yes.
Hello, yeah, but no, like a spiel. 2.5 minutes was the end of the story.
SABC.
And we had to rearrange that, and we also had to change the words in that. And in fact, we've had now that little clip that you just played, we had to change again because the times are completely different. And although it might have been sort of tongue in cheek and really funny with the woman and man thing in those days and boyfriend and girlfriend, it wouldn't go down well today because obviously, you know, the abuse against women and everything else.
Sure.
So we had to rearrange that, coming back to your point. So we rearranged that. But the original thing, if I'm not mistaken, was a Johnny Halliday song many, many, many years ago.
Yeah, because because Clout's first hit Substitute was also an old song. It was a Righteous Brothers song. So
That's right.
Just redid it, and people didn't even know these songs. You know, they're songs that nobody did. What about Amen? I will never forget that song either. That was huge because didn't the SABC use that song?
For a long, long time. You know what happened there too? Alan McInnes was the A&R man for GRC, and Graham Begg was the producer. And we recorded it like everybody else in Studio 2 down in down near the Nugget Hill down there.
Sat Bell? Was it Sat Bell?
Yeah. No, we were with Gallo those days.
Okay.
But we needed. It was termed that we were doing message music. That's where the term message, because everything that we did sort of had some kind of message to it. You know, I just wasn't going with things like "I love you" and "You love me" since we've broken up. You see, kind of.
No.
So we're looking to put a sort of tail on the album, and there was a film that I think my mom and dad or something spoke about. Was called Lilies of the Field with Sidney Poitier. Lilies of the Field. And one of the soundtracks was Amen.
Yes.
We took it because that was also one of those sort of, you know, the spiritual thing that was going around, and you know, your hands and carry on, but you were thankful, for what was happening to you. Even now with COVID, I mean, there's so many things that we can still be thankful for. I'm
Sure.
speaking one of the things,
No,
for example. So we did
absolutely.
that song, and we made that the sort of cross at the end, amen, at the end of the album. And then the SAC picked up on it, and I think Radio Pulpit must have used it for, I think, 2 years, 3 years, as their sort of
Signature song.
segments and stings and things like that.
Yes. I love that kind of story. I mean, those kind of things are quite incredible. To have a song that is like an anthem, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think that Amen was definitely like an anthem. I mean, to this day, I can still, Amen, Amen, na, 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 something
Absolutely,
like that.
yeah.
Brian, the cabaret scene in those days,
Yeah.
it's so different now. There's no such thing as a cabaret scene. You don't go to Top of the Carlton and watch Diane Chandler or Brian Mulder with a jazz band. There's so few. I love Wendy's band. She's always got a
Funk
great
to jazz.
yeah. That jazz thing is just amazing. But there's not a lot of that here.
Well, what happened with me, I can speak for myself. 76, after the sort of mini riots and things, and clubs came to an end for big bands. We were 6-piece then, don't forget. And Dorian, I don't know if you remember Dorian. Dorian Friedman started at the Edward with disco. Everything was disco and lights and helicopter things. And so the bands were kind of, it was too expensive to have a 6-piece band. Plus, don't forget the Goodison Group booked all the bands then, so you could play at the
Goodison, I remember that.
Or whatever. Exactly. So the cost became evolved, and everybody started to gain towards discotheques and things like that. Everything top of the thing could be played. Every top record could be played. So I switched, and I'll never forget. I got a little act together, and I started to do a little cabaret thing, and very, very raw in the whole thing, and used to go to, for example, the Penguin Club in Swaziland, and I ended up at the room at the top in PE, and Kim Kelly was there as well with Peter Smith's band, and I'll never forget the first night I kind of went on. I think the crit said he's like a bull in a china shop because I came through like a foghorn, and of course the
you got this big voice,
and also the songs weren't commercial. Well, I wouldn't like to think I'm too commercial. So, that kind of songs, they kind of meant something, and you could hug your wife and do something, whatever. So it was really so that And I'll never forget too. I was working. I actually mentioned the Penguin Club now, and Judy Page was at Gigi's, which was at the Royal Swazi Spa, and only the creme de la creme, only with you know what I mean? And she came into the Penguin Club one night, and she said to me, I want you to come down. And I went down with her to Gigi's, and I watched the act. I mean, and she was just phenomenal, wasn't she?
Stella, absolutely.
Yeah, a couple of years. I think a year went by, 2 years went by. This is a funny story. And she got hold of me at Cyrus. We were playing at Cyrus. And she said, listen, I want you to come along, and we're going to do, I want you to do a little audition for Toby Kushnick. Toby Kushnick.
Oh, the Kushnick.
Now, you actually remember Toby Kushnick?
Kushnick. Of course.
Was the doing. Yeah, absolutely. Toby Kushnick was theatre,
Theatre, darling.
So she takes me to the Chelsea Hotel, Judy does. And there's just Toby. And she's sitting there, the big voice. Yes. What are you going to do? I'll never forget. I did, I think, an opening verse of With His Hands, I will sing to you. And I did this, and there was no one there, no music, nothing, ice cold. And Judy said, that's fine. And Toby, as we walked out, said, not bad, but less Less of the dramatics, less of the hand.
I love it. And that's how it rolled.
But then the band got a major contract, and we went, and obviously I never ever did Jacques Brel, but that would never have been me. But yeah, Judy, and so yeah, coming back to the cabaret, that's how we kind of started.
Yes.
The circuit a couple of times, which included, there was only a few of the acts that had switched from group playing into cabaret. So I mean, the big stars then with the Annabelle Linders of stage, and things like that, and Judy, and there was a few English acts that had come out, and I ended up, I think, following Tonya Ben Campbell, who was Sir Donald Campbell's wife, and she did a stint at Gigi's too, I think, and I went in there once, and it was. These are all learning curves that we kind of went along with, but it taught you so much of what people are sitting out there, and even today, I would like to think if I had to pass on something, people want to be entertained. They can stay at home for the record, and that's why I would like to advocate more. Once this thing's all over, more of us should go out and support people and musicians and entertainers who are singing live. You mentioned Wendy just now. That funk to jazz is phenomenal, and there's many more users of that, like the Jan Rosses and everybody around.
Yes.
That need people to come and see them. And when you get there, for God's sakes, listen and pay attention, because one of the biggest things that I've ever had in our sort of world is that we've always used the word play. Oh, where's somebody? Oh, she's playing down at Cyrus, and he's playing down. And people forget we're not playing. We're working.
Serious. We're working, yeah.
And this COVID time is a perfect example of how bad things are in our I'm by no
industry.
Saying we are worse than anybody else. Please don't get me wrong.
No.
Relative in that our job is to entertain whoever comes in. We were the first to get fired or to get
always, yes.
Kill it.
Absolutely.
If the people weren't, never mind the food wasn't good. The entertainment. Sorry, the vibe wasn't great to have anybody there. So that playing thing, I think, like I just said, COVID now has proved how much the guys and girls and everybody in our industry need, because that's our work.
That is our work, and it's. Of course, we've all suffered in some way about this. When I say suffered in some way, I mean in completely all ways, because we cannot perform. And when a performer can't perform, they kind of lose their compass a bit. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, what am I going to do? Like, who am I? Where do I come into this? I want to just see who's online still. We've got Anton van Dongen. Oh my God, from PE. Anton, my boy. Laura's also there. She's saying how she misses the mid-90s. Listen, I've also got to remind you guys that we're having a little a giveaway today for the person that asks the most interesting question, the most sort of pertinent question. And we're going to give away a 250 Rand voucher for Take a Lot. So keep the questions coming in. We love these questions. Julian, have you got any video of lovely Brian singing some cabaret? I think we have. We've got a video. Would you play something for us, please? I want to see Brian doing his thing. You were always such a performer. Here we go.
Now we've got a thing going on. We both know that it's wrong, but it is much too strong to let it go now. We meet every day at the same cafe, 6:30, and I know she plays our favorite song, me and Mrs. Jones. We've got a thing going on. We both know that it's wrong, but it is much too strong to let it go now. You see, we've got to be extra careful that we don't get our hopes up too high. For she's got her own obligations, and so do I, me and Mrs. We got a thing going on. We both know that's wrong, but it is much too strong to let it go now. It's time to believe it, and it's time to say goodbye. For she'll be going her way, and so do I, me and Mrs. Jones, lady. We got that thing. Me and Mrs. Jones, we can't get our hopes up high. Me and Mrs. Jones.
There we go.
Lord, I love you.
You see? Those were the days, baby. No, I just think, as somebody also mentioned, Laura, that there's not a lot of live bands. Most of the people nowadays, they use backing tracks, and things have changed so much. But I understand it. I'm not downing it. I'm not criticizing it. I'm just saying that things have changed so much. I love a live band. I try never to use backing tracks, only because I feel, you're coming to see a show and you deserve the absolute mostest and bestest. But if you're just doing something on your own, of course, sometimes you will have to use tracks or whatever it is. But everybody's appreciating that and saying, this is just, it's the real deal, and I've always looked at you and thought of you as the Joe Cocker of Joburg, of South Africa, because you always like, you do that thing so much, and you feel it so much, Brian. And I think that's why you're doing this. Now, from music to sports, you became a sports commentator. And
yeah.
Like, wow. So what happened there? How did that happen?
Well, yeah, I've always, sport has always been my second love, really. And I kind of got into it. I played as much as I could, competitively, cricket, soccer, whatever. And when the music thing kind of came to a little bit of an end and people were starting to drift away, I started to do little things for the SABC then. There was no DSTV then. It was the SABC.
Yes.
And Stan Christodoulou, for example, he got me, and I started to do ring announcing for the boxing. And
yes.
Eventually, I joined the SABC, and I was very blessed because while I was there, we ended up doing a couple of Olympics, and of course the our first inaugural FIFA World Cup. We went to France to actually do it, and the producers that I worked with them, the Richard Parkers and the Rob Rogers and these people, they were instrumental in helping me and bringing me along. So I became an anchor, and then I became insert producer, which we won an award for the Coca-Cola things to do with soccer then at the time. Because when everything started to normalize as such over the entire spectrum, some of us were moved to produce soccer and the other sports, as well as what the mainstream rugby and cricket was actually being done. So we started to do profiles of different people. We would go to their living rooms and see how they were doing. I remember doing, I think we did Sean Bartlett's wedding down in Cape Town, and Mandela was there, so and we started to do things like that. And slowly, I spent 16 years at the SABC, which was,
that's a long run.
Wonderful. Great learning curve.
And Brian, I think you've taken everything as a learning curve in your life. You've always been humble. You've always been ready to learn, and I think that's a very important thing. I think a lot of the musicians nowadays, the young musicians, they kind of think they know everything, and don't want to learn. It's like, hey man, I got my thing and I know what I'm doing. I think we can always learn. I'm still learning stuff all the time.
If I can come in here to illustrate what you're just saying now. You mentioned Wendy just now and Funk to Jazz. The player that you saw in that clip was Phil Holder, who is, I mean, he is just phenomenal. And they are part of this, for example, Funk to Jazz. You've got Ron Moses is the doctor of music at Tshwane. You've got Sydney Mavundla, who is incredible trumpet player. Yes. When we were going around, and you got the Rob Watsons and Amish, and of course Wendy, she's just incredible. But what I'm trying to tell is, when we were going around, Henny Becker had the Henny Becker band at the branch office and everything else. Musos that we looked up to and admired and wanted to learn from, and would soak up like sponges anything they would do. And it would be the in thing to go and see them. Yes. Now, you and I'm only just mentioning Funk to Jazz as an example.
Sure.
You have a group that is phenomenal, and I don't even see musos there some nights. I got to ask them to come along and have a listen, which everybody should be, and it's free. They should be going to, even if you're going there to see what you shouldn't do.
Yeah, I know, but it's also the scene has changed so much, the different
absolutely
places that people go and watch bands. Brian, I need to ask you about something that happened to you, which changed your life, I think, when you had your accident.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened to you, Brian?
It wasn't so much the accident as such.
I know, it was after.
It was the after effects, and be it the superbug and all kinds of things that kind of happened thereafter. And what happened was, went into hospital. I think I had a little bit of pneumonia or this or that. And came out, spent a couple of days, went home. And I didn't know, I might have picked up either the superbug, as they call it, or whatever it is.
Yes.
And went to the loo one night, put 12 stitches in my head and fell down, and the spine had gone. So maybe old injuries or whatever it had, and whatever the bugs had got in there. Cut a long story short, spent a long time in hospital.
Long time in hospital.
Yeah. Well, the best part of 2 years, in and out, but mainly almost 2 years. And so the spine got done twice, thoracotomy, then the hip, then the knees, then the whatever. But hey, speaking to you and going on.
That's what I want. Yeah.
My daughter, Simone, and her family took me in, and kind of I lived in my grandson's kind of bedroom for almost 2-3 years, convalescing and sort of getting strong again. And I've been in my own little place where you are here with me now for the last years. And independence slowly came back, but it took a while because nothing was working sort of to a level that it was ever before. And then slowly, as the pipes started working and things started happening, Dennis East was one of the first guys, for example. Again, you know him, we know him, we've been on the road a long time.
Yes.
Who, when we first started to feel that we could sing again or whatever, we put a CD together. Dennis handled that and whatever. And then slowly, as it got better and better, I embarked on a project like we've just finished now with Johan Loss, did all the arrangements.
Yes.
Eddie Bricey, who you know as well, her and her daughter did the vocals. We recorded it at John Lindeman's studio in Primrose. And then, yeah, we just started to get these things going. So I would like to think that maybe the style has changed a bit, but the music is still there. It still means something. I would like to think people still like the stuff that we're doing now, and it's just great, with the help of.
I think, you're a survivor when people come through something like that. No, it's the truth. I mean, I know when I first started to sing after my cancer, I was scared. I actually didn't know. I'd also lost my voice after my transplant. I'd had a bone marrow transplant and I lost my voice completely. I had nothing. The doctor, they all knew I was a singer and the doctor would come in first thing in the morning saying, "Can you talk? Can you talk?"
Yeah.
It was like the thing that everybody was, Cindy can't speak. She's got no voice. It was such a thing. And I never thought it was going to come back. I was like gun shy. I was scared to sing. You know how you're saying like you didn't know how it was going to be, and to do that and to overcome that and to be at the level that you're at now, it's like, this is a guy that's been through the bloody mill and is standing here in front of you, and I take my hat off to you, darling. I love things.
Oh, no, listen.
Those are part of this. It's part of the story, It's part of the story, and the music industry's changed so much, and so many things are wanted and needed and everything. And I just always believe, as you said, that if you still love it and you're still passionate about it, that's all that matters, to be honest. Go and play where you can, do what you can. We are slowly kind of running out. We've got Mark Vass on, and Mark is our guru. He's the music guru. Mark,
from all the way from London.
I think I need to have Mark on the show because Mark knows so much, and I'm going to have him on the show. I am here. Andrea Coleman's on. Laura's still on. Alan Rosenberg. He says, just say yes, dear. Yes, dear.
Absolutely.
Again, we've got so many amazing people. I just wanted to tell you this. Richard Mackridge is on. How's it, Rich?
China.
How's it? What was I saying? There was somebody else that asked something, but we still got to find. I want to find the best question. Okay, we're both true survivors. Indeed, we are. I want to find the best question because we are definitely giving away a 250 Rand voucher for Take a Lot today. And I want to see who's got I think all the questions will be so good. This is going to be so hard. I think the best comment, though, was after Jenny Horton heard the song Understand, she says, "Holy dung. Remember that song so well." And I kind of like that. Holy dung.
Holy dung.
Holy dung. So she's being PC, politically correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jenny Horton, absolutely. I think you're gonna have to get the prize, I'm afraid. Jenny Horton, definitely. The comments of the question have to go through the app, though, unfortunately, because we're trying to boost this app, the Discover TV app. So please go to it. Julian has put the app up. just so you guys know, for anything from Discover TV over here, post your questions to Brian on our new site, and there's the app. We have to keep this thing going because it's important. Brian,
Yes.
the man, the father, the friend, you and I have known each other for quite some time. I'm still so happy and honored to know you. I think you're a great guy. I think you've got a great heart. I think you've got gees for miles. And we wanted to give you a gift today. Okay?
Want to
Please
give me a
look at me.
gift?
I'm going to give you a gift. I'm not.
I should be
putting it
giving
through-
you guys a gift. I'm very grateful that you guys invited me on. And I'm thankful to all of you. Thank you so much.
It's such a pleasure. Discover TV is so innovative. They gave me this platform, Julian, and I appreciate it so much. I love this platform. I love every week coming up and talking to different people. Next week, we've got Pops Muhammad. I don't know if you guys remember Pops, but he's also a winner of note. He's got amazing stuff to talk about and to play, and it's just going to be such a thrilling day. Tuesday night, 6 p.m. I think we cool with that time. I think everybody's okay with that time right now. What we've done, okay, Brian, is we've got
Yes.
you an online reading from Sandy Smith, the numerologist, right now, right here in front of everybody. Isn't that amazing? Let's
That's
do
fantastic.
it. Well, let's
Wow.
have Sandy on with us, please. Sandy's numerology. She's the best.
Hi, Brian. How are you?
Sandy, so nice to hear you. When I heard your name, I know who Sandy is.
I mean, I go back with Brian to the 70s, and that's how I met him. I met his brother, Ian, and Charmaine, his late brother, Ian, and Charmaine Whitcomb. We married, became Mulder. I used to go out with Dave Evans, and all Dave could do was practice Steve Gadd from the books in those days. But Brian, let me give you a little heads up here. So obviously I have been listening online in the quiet, in the background there. But Brian is born Brian Dennis with one N, Mulder. Thanks, Charmaine. He's born on the 10th of August, 19 blah, blah. And so Brian is an 8, Dennis is a 6, Mulder is a 1, Brian Dennis Mulder is another 6, Brian Mulder is a 9. And then he's born on the 10th, which says, I'm a leader, I initiate, I wake up, I get my day going, I don't wait on anybody else. Then he's born in August. So Brian is an 8, he's born in August, which is another 8, which says, drama. Sorry, Toby Kushlik. Drama. Challenge. Passion. And passion is when Brian is singing in those hand movements and that body movements. And then the word sport. I remember him from those days. It was soccer, cricket, soccer, boxing. Okay. So now Brian has also got a 3-life path, and I had the pleasure of meeting his mom, and his mom was priority in his life. Am I right, Brian? And what was her name? Bobby? Bob.
Well, that was her nickname.
That was her nickname.
Janet.
Brian has got 999s. So it's quite interesting you spoke of your health, because that was your 888s and your 999s, which was also about your spine. But what is interesting is, where are you at the moment? Currently, your age adds to a 9, not giving your age away. So you're in your life path, which is exactly, Cindy is also in her life path. So this year has been, because you've got a 3 life path, is all about values or valuables. So the universe has come along with the COVID, and it's taken away valuables, but it's asking you to look at your values. And your birthday is so close coming now in August, and your age will add to a 1, which says you have to lead, you have to drive, you have to initiate, you have to let people know that I am here. So speaking of the Johan Lars and the whole recording and whatever, there's something that the universe is going to be waking up about Brian Mulder, but you have to be consistent and constant in letting us know that you are still around. There's some paperwork structures that you need to take place on the home front. You need to pay attention to paperwork for the next year or so. But with this age adding to a 1 from 2020 to 2021, by their midpoint, which will be the 10th of February of 2021, there's going to be deals and contracts and opportunity and awards coming your way, on condition that Brian continues to lead, to drive, and let us know that you are here. Cindy has got the same thing happening from her birthday on the 10th of March.
Yes.
So there's like a synergy of what she needs to do and what you need to do. This COVID thing has affected all of us, but it's asking us to dig a lot deeper. Yes, we've got technology. It's time, Brian. Your Dennis is where your technology is, and that's also about sound. It's about your voice. You've got everything that I know, and I hear the understanding. I mean, my God, what the best song ever!
Absolutely.
And you are a bull in a china shop, and the time is now for you to be the bull in the china shop. That you actually put Brian right out there. Get your daughter and get all of the techno people around you to keep on Instagrams, on the Facebooks. Get your YouTube going, Brian, now. Do some lives for us. There's some money coming your way. There's contracts and opportunities coming your way. You will not be forgotten.
Woo!
Thank you.
Sandy Smith, thank you for being with us, darling. We so appreciate your time. And you're always spot on the money. If anybody wants to get hold of Sandy, please do. And
Thanks, Sandy. You're a star. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's absolutely my pleasure. If I can do one thing for all of the musicians out there, add my little bit to help motivate and challenge. And you know, Brian, you love a challenge.
What a show. Thank you, everybody. It's been very special and very, for me, especially because I know you. So just to see you talk about your life and just to see you talk about your passion. And Sandy was right, Brian. You have got so much to offer. That voice of yours, the commentating, the voiceovers, the talking, you've got so much to offer there. And that's why you're still here. So if I say, where are you now? Ask you that question. Where are you now? Hey?
I must say that you guys have knocked me out. I'm very, very thankful to you, to Julian, to everybody else, and to everybody else out there who's at least got hold of us. And I think the platform that you're using is unbelievable, because what you're doing is actually giving everybody a chance to see maybe another part of their artist or their friend or their or entertainer that they may have known or their family have known, and that we are real people, and that like everybody else, yes, sure, we all have a hard time. We're having a hard time at the moment, but to you guys to keep the flame burning and everything else, we must just on our side just keep supplying the goods that you people likes out there. I'd just like to say to everybody, Thank you very much for having me in your homes this evening. I trust I'll always have a spot in your home.
You will, and in their hearts, Brian, as well. You know, it's important to know that we remembered. We, as artists, we have this gene in all of us that is slightly insecure. We're just slightly insecure that we always think, are we going to be remembered? Is somebody going to like what I'm doing? Am I going to be okay? Is it going to be? We do question ourselves a lot, but it's because we're artists. You know, we've got that artistic temperament. We definitely, we do question a lot. We question other things, and we question ourselves and our relevance in this world. And when I see the show like this, and I'm seeing all these people on the show watching us, over 100 people are interested in knowing what you have to say, that to me means something. That means that whatever you have to say is important and it is valuable. And I love that. And the show to me is valuable. And thank you for being with us today. And everybody who is on board, mwah, my usual people that come every week, I really need to see your names there. Thank you so much. Tim's there, Gail was there, Charmaine, everybody was here. Mark Voss, of course, I've got to grab Mark because he's going to be on the show. He's going to tell some stories. Dougie Ramage, my friends and my and the people that are coming on, and tell everybody about the show, because I think the show is, I think it needs to be seen. I think it's very important to remind everybody there's people like Brian out there. So, goodbye, everybody. We have given the prize to Jenny Horton. Jenny Horton's thing was just so funny, and we will get all her details and everything, and we'll give her a prize. Peace, love, and we're out.
Bye-bye, everybody. Love you lots.
Oh, mother, mother, there's far too many of you crying. Brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying. You know we've got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Father, Father, we don't need to escalate. War is not the answer, for only love can conquer hate. You know we've just got to find a way to bring some love in here today. We don't need picket lines or picket signs. Don't you punish me with brutality. Talk to me so you can see what's going on. What is going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? But who are they to judge us? Simply cause our hair is long. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving back today. We don't need picket lines or picket signs. Don't you punish me with brutality. Come on, talk to me so you can see What's going on? What's going on? We don't need this disenchantment. We don't need this mismanagement. We don't need this racial divide. We have got to learn to live together. We have got to learn to love one another. People,